Hi, it's Karen Capello, and today I want to talk to you about how to set up 6 pillars for your six-figure coaching practice. And whoever you talk to and whatever marketing person you follow, these 6 bright lines will create your coaching business. These are what is needed no matter what way you look at them or what perspective you have about them. So, and I also want to say that clarity on these will set you up for strong momentum in your business. Once you have these 6 pillars in place, then you can do anything from there. And if you don't have those 6 pillars in place, then your business isn't on the strongest foundation. And I've seen coaches, 2, 3, 4 years later, still looking to get the momentum that they deserve, when if they set up these 6 pillars properly, that momentum will come. So just to give you a little moment here, I'm Karen Capello, and I work with coaches to help them grow their businesses. And the clients who get the best results with me are those who are coming from the corporate world, because that's where I came from, and working in the business space. That's where I've been working for so many years now. So I want to talk a little bit about why I'm making this video training here. And the reason is I see too many coaches out there following many different mentors, getting lots of emails, all kinds of different ways of doing things, and they're getting very overwhelmed and confused. And it's getting even worse. When I started many years ago, there weren't as many options. Now there are so many options that it's hard to tell which person that you should work with or follow, and how you should follow. And so I'm gonna cut through that clutter today, and I'm gonna give you some very specific ideas and insights that I know they're gonna really help you. So the other thing I see is that lots of coaches are spending like tens of thousands of dollars and untold hours creating businesses that are not gonna bring in the clients they want. And some of these coaches are in really big group programs where the main coach does smaller group things throughout the year, maybe quarterly, and then the one-on-one coaching is done by people on their team. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you need the coach, you need the person that has the philosophy to really help you customize your program and get things going. And then if you're in these big groups, you can pay for individual attention, but it's more, and it's upgrades and all of that. If you start out with the individual attention, you can go farther and faster. And I've seen this. I personally had 3 coaches my first 3 months of coaching, and it really helped me jumpstart my business. So I want to talk a little bit about why I talk about my best client being somebody that comes out of corporate. And the reason I do that is there's a certain mindset I find that when people are coming out of corporate, you've been a leader, you've had a certain amount of responsibility. There's something about that presence that really helps to succeed in running your own business. Now there are different things about running your own business than being a leader in corporate, but that foundation is very, very helpful. So what else do you need to create your 6-figure business? You need to have a few hours a day that you're going to be working on your business. So even if you're still in the corporate world, you can do this in a couple hours a day, and you can do it maybe in a longer timeline, which is fine. Or if you've left the corporate world, you probably do have that amount of time, and you just need some really good strategies and tactics that are working to help you get your next biggest client and bring in that 6-figure income. You also need to implement. I was talking to a coach about a month ago, and she said to me, what I wish I would have known then that I know now is that I spent a lot of time learning. And if I would have known what implementation would have done, I just would have gone to implement and either done them parallel or done the learning even later when I needed it. So implementation is really important. And one of the things about implementing is that I found personally is you don't know the things that you don't know. I mean, there are things that I didn't know that I couldn't see from the outside that were really important and would have helped me personally go even faster. And you know, I have my master's in education. I really love to teach, and I'm a pretty good teacher. I was getting good evaluations when I was in the classroom, but there's a way to teach. There are certain little things you can do that will compel your ideal clients to come to you. And there are ways to position yourself in a talk or a blog post or anything you're putting out there, even a video, that will be a call to those that are meant to work with you. And these are the insights that I think are really necessary to cut through all of the noise out there and get the clients into your business that you can really help. So, you know, I actually did this even when I first started out. I knew some of these tips and hacks, and I did bring in clients for my talks using these strategies. And what was really interesting is I started out with a new coach recently, and after years and years of doing this well, I found even more insights on how I could do this even better. So there's always little tips and insights that you can learn to make things much easier for you to bring in those ideal clients. So wherever you are, even where I am, there are things that you don't know. And that's where the guidance of a coach can come in and help. So what really works is following one simple process consistently and not getting overwhelmed by all those different choices. And here's a question that I've been asked many times. How do you choose a coach to guide you? Like there are so many options out there, and all of them sound really good. And some of them sound even, you know, better than others to our minds, you know. And I say it's a matter of intuition. Who do you resonate with? Find the coach that you resonate with. If you've been in the corporate world, you have relied on your intuition. If you've gotten to any kind of leadership position, you've relied on your intuition, and now you can rely on it there. Find that coach, commit to their process, let your intuition guide you, and make sure that you know, they have a strong testimonials and check all those boxes, but in the end, let your intuition guide you. So I have a little story I want to tell, and then I'm going to get into our 6 pillars, but I think you're going to like this story. And the moral of the story I'm going to give you first is don't take your Porsche to the Jiffy Lube, or worse yet, change the oil yourself. Now, this is a true story that happened here in Tucson. One of the people in the Porsche Club took their car to the Jiffy Lube to get their oil changed. And my sweetie happens to belong to this club, and he asked this person, why did you do that? The person said, well, you know, it cost me $50 to do my oil change at the Jiffy Lube. Do you know how much it cost at the dealer? And of course, my sweetie said, yes, I do. It's about $250. So this gentleman saved $200. But what happened was that the engine of the car was ruined. Because, and it's not that Jiffy Lube is not good at changing the lube and oil, but it's not in alignment with a Porsche. It's not a match there. So the $14,000 later, the engine was rebuilt on that car. So to save a little bit in the beginning, it costs a whole lot more in the end. So I want to say to you, if you've got a Porsche, if you've got some great training, you spent, you know, all this time and money on your training, and if you've got even a website or a presence, you're getting some help on all of these things, you need to work with someone who's used to working on that Porsche. You need to work with someone who's been there, done that, and made a difference. So that's another way of thinking about who you would work with. All right, let's go into the pillars, because I think this is so interesting. And we're here in Tucson, and it's a little bit of allergies or something this morning. Anyway, so here's pillar number 1. Know your ideal client and the challenge you help them solve. And I'm sure you've heard this time and time and time again. And hold on a second. There's something going on with my nose. Okay, so know the characteristics of your ideal client and know their challenges. So for me, I came from the business world. Now, I have a very spiritual background. I was going to sweat lodges on the weekend. So I have a kind of a combination of the inner game, that spiritual part, and also the outer game, that business part. And what I found is that I came from the business world and I'm working in the business world. So those are the clients that work well with me. I can help the life coaches, but I have many more tools and techniques to use in the business arena. So think about who is your ideal client. Who's the one that you're going to get the most results with, that you can really help. And it's probably you. This is a little insight. It's probably you at an earlier stage of your growth. The other thing is there are 3 niches in terms of challenges that you can help people solve that are proven money makers. So business is one, business and finance. Health is another. You know, people spend a lot of money on health challenges, and relationships. Getting into relationships, getting out of relationships, all kinds of things about relationships. So those are the 3 proven moneymaker niches, which you can create a business out of. Now, you notice I didn't say anything about empowering people or living your best life or taking the next step. We do all of this in coaching. These are not money-making niches. These are more of what happens in the coaching process. So if you have a niche like that, if you've already kind of moved forward on that, talk to me, because there's probably some little tweaks that we could make that could put you into one of these categories so that you can have a really strong business. So that's pillar number 1, which is know your ideal clients and the challenge that you help them solve. There's so much more I could say about this, but let's go on to pillar number 2. Pillar number 2 is create your signature program. And a signature program is simply the way you talk about what someone is going to experience when they get into coaching. So I would guess you would call her my marketing and online tech guru, Andrea, always says, you know, people think that when you're getting into coaching, you're just going to sit around talking all day. And that's actually not what happens, for sure. But if you have a signature program and you have a process that you take people through, then their mind is more formed around, wow, that person has something tangible. So I'm going to give you a generic form of what a signature program would look like right now. And this is gold, so or platinum or whatever, diamonds. If you want to write this down, it'd be a good idea. So you could say to somebody, you know, when you come and coach with me, step 1 is we're going to get a baseline of where you are now. Step 2 is we're going to create a vision for your future. Step 3 is we're going to create a plan based on where you are now and where you want to go, so we can bring you into that vision. And then step 3 is we're going to implement the plan, and we're going to do more of what's working and less of what's not working. So that's a very simple signature program. And how does that work? Well, let's talk about how that works maybe in a business coaching scenario. So if you say, you know, I'm going to help a small business owner get more clients. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start out with taking a baseline of where you are now. How many clients are you bringing in a month now? And what are the ways that you're bringing them in? What are the most successful ways? Step 2 is we're going to take a vision of where you want to go. So how many clients a month do you want? And what kind of revenue do you want? And what would your business look like if it was just perfectly supporting you? So step 3 is we're going to create a plan. So we're going to look at where you are in your business. You know, if you have, let's just say you're a coach and you have 5 clients right now and you want to go to 10 clients a month. Great. So what's the plan of getting there? What has worked for you in the past? What are some things that are working in the space right now? We're going to put those all together. And then step 4 is we're going to implement this plan. You're going to go out and you're going to do these things. And then we're going to say, okay, what's working? How many more clients did you get the next month? And then what's not working? And we can let that go. And so that's how those 4 steps and that signature program plays out in business. So if you're thinking about, is your coaching business making money right now? Look at your signature program and see if you have articulated it well to your potential clients. All right, so let's talk about the 3rd pillar, and that is design your investment packages. And depending on where someone is and where they want to go, really easy investment packages are 3, 6, and 9 months of coaching. And of course, if you're working in the corporate space, there's a lot of training, there's group coaching, there's all kinds of extra things you can do. But even just starting with that solo professional, you can do a 3, 6, or 9 month package. And you can think about when they talk to you about their goals in your enrollment conversation, you can say, well, here's what I recommend. And there are actually some things, there are some differences in the packages, there are some bonuses you can add. What you want to do is you want to show that they're going to get a 5 to 10 times return on investment financially from this package. So think about what you could add, think about what you could share to make this really, really attractive and a no-brainer for your investment packages. Okay, so that's 3. 4 is you need to implement an effective marketing strategy that can be done with ease, that brings ease to it. So there are some really simple and effective ways to do this. You don't want to take a lot of detours. So if you don't have the effective marketing strategies, you can find yourself posting to social media, YouTube, Instagram. Now there's an Instagram TV, getting your website and what's your free offer. And yet all of these pieces, unless you know how to use them strategically in a marketing plan, they're just like out there, like a shotgun approach. And you want to be able to take a laser approach to this. And there are, I have so many different strategies that can be used. So the point is you need to find a strategy that is completely in alignment with who you are. So it can't feel awkward or sleazy with you. Now, it can be a little awkward in the implementation if you've never done it before, but it has to be something that is resonant with your authentic self. It cannot be something that is not in integrity, I guess I would say, with you. So you want to take that part, your authentic self, and you want to marry that with a strategy that is actually working in the world right now in real time. And there are some strategies that worked, 5, 10 years ago that are not working as well now, and there are some that are working even better now than they were before. So I know many strategies that go from a very analog strategy, getting referrals, picking up the phone, to some very digital strategies, utilizing your marketing to compel your ideal clients to talk to you, and how to do that. So you need to find a really good marketing strategy that you resonate with, that you can count on. Okay, so we're coming to the last couple steps now. Step 5 is you need to learn how to have a winning enrollment conversation. And I'll just cut to the chase. What's most important in this conversation is your own presence and your own confidence in your program, in your signature program, in your ability to help people get the results that they're looking for. So your presence and your confidence is the most important. And there are questions you can ask before the conversation and during the conversation that will increase your confidence. There are foundational pieces in your business that will increase your confidence in these conversations and allow you to have them in ways so that your perfect client, your ideal client, comes in, the one who's a perfect fit for your program. Because what can happen is sometimes, especially this happened to me starting out in the beginning, I was just coaching anyone. I was taking anyone in because I was really excited about coaching and I wanted to build my business. But some of my clients were getting really strong results, and some of my clients, their results weren't as strong. And I started looking at what were the commonalities between the ones that got the strongest results. Those are the ones that I want to share. Hey, we are a fit. If someone's not a fit for me, I'd rather help them find someone who can help them get those strong results that they want. So that's part of those conversations, is learning how to distinguish between those who are really going to get to their results and those who aren't. Okay, so our last step, which is probably the overarching step of all, is to manage your energy. This is probably the most important part of all of this process. There is a quote out there that I love, and it's rejection is protection. So what happens is, in terms of bringing people into coaching, this is where energy management comes in really strongly, because maybe there are some people that you're going to talk to that have kind of gotten through your filters, your marketing filters, and they're not the right client for you. And especially in the beginning, this happens quite often until you get established and really figure out what all the other 5 pillars. Once you have the other 5 pillars, the filter is even stronger, and this doesn't happen as much. But it does happen in the beginning, I think, when people are really trying to figure out, who is that ideal client. And the reason I say rejection is protection is if someone, quote unquote, rejects your offer of coaching, meaning they're not a fit, and they realize they're not a fit, that's actually is a good thing. Because if you have too many clients that come in that don't get to their goals, that aren't the right fit for you, then you're going to start questioning yourself and wondering. And what we want to do is we want to get you so much confidence in the beginning that you can create the momentum you want. So these 6 pillars are the way to really create that 6-figure business. This is the strongest foundation you can have. Knowing your ideal client and the challenge you help them solve, creating your signature program, designing your investment packages, implementing effective marketing strategies that are completely aligned with you, learning how to have those enrollment conversations so that they get you the perfect fit clients, and then managing your energy throughout this process. And those are the bright lines for your business. So don't create your website, don't get your social media presence going without clarity on these. This is the most important thing you can do for yourself, is get clarity on all of these pillars. So if you resonate with what I'm saying here, this is my content that I put out, that some people are going to go, wow, Karen, I get it. That really resonates with me. Others are going to go, well, not quite. That's okay. But if you do resonate, please share your biggest takeaway. You can share it underneath this post, or you can send it directly to me, Karen at KarenCapello.com. Let me know if you have any unanswered questions here. I mean, I could do a video on each one of these, and I might do that. Or a masterclass, if anybody's interested in that. I could do that too. So you can have the lifestyle and the business you want. You really can. And it's probably easier in some ways than you think, and it might be a little harder in other ways, like your own self-development. This is something we didn't talk about, but really having your own business is one of the best self-development tools in the world, I think. So if you're interested and this resonates with you, let's talk. And until then, I'm wishing you lots of success with great ease and joy. Thank you.